where you're at. Where you at? Finally, Triple Aquarius, man, late. Galinsky, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What's going on, man?
Everything is good. Everything is great.
Why are
You're
you? Why? Why?
reminiscing.
Why? Why? Why, why does it seem like you're sitting in the back of a restaurant in the booth in the dark so
with
bad?
a little hookah pipe, something like that. I'm trying to relive the old days, my friend.
Oh man, I wish
Wait,
I
I
could.
gotta let me do one thing, then I'll make it official. Hold on. If it's gonna work, hold on. Do you see the lights now behind me?
Ah, yeah.
All right.
I thought you were going to get your jacket.
That would
Yeah,
be
man.
great.
So what's going on? I was just kind of reminiscing about the old days of the slam and how it used to be during my time there. But tell me a little about how the slam started.
So me and my brother we wanted to showcase our talents and our friends' talents and try to consolidate it so that it'd be entertaining for a lot of people, because it's a lot of hard work when you put a show together, even if it's your own show. Like, you know how it is, like, you got to find a space, then you got to find out how much it's going to cost you, and and so we wanted to try to make a platform or a venue where if you go there, it doesn't cost you that much money and you can showcase yourself. And so, being complete egomaniacs that my brother and I we're like, well, let's showcase ourselves first, and then we'll bring our friends, our acting friends, in afterward. And then what happened was our acting friends surpassed us, which is great because they all got discovered and a good time. So that was the beginning of it, and it was sort of, as you know, the beginnings were like, it was kind of an acting orgy.
Yeah.
It was kind of it was kind of, there were no rules, there was no, and the best part for me was, even if you quote unquote lost, you didn't lose because you got exposure. And that was the thread of our entire mission, was that it was, the winning was a convention for the audience. That's why the audience came, because they decided who the winner was. But the actors were like, holy cow, there's 70, 100 people here for me. And it's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter if you won or lost because you made an impression. So most of the people, it was kind of like, it was pre-American Idol. Pre-American Idol. Yeah.
It mattered. It mattered. To a few of us, it mattered, man.
Well, but it was pre-American Idol because a lot of the people that didn't win on our thing did really great stuff. So it was just like American Idol with Hudson and all these other people, where you're like, well, they didn't win the title, so it doesn't matter. Did they get a record deal? Did they, did you get signed by an agent? Sure, yeah. Like, then your complaint, like, I told you I had the guy that came up to me and said, I've done it 4 times and I didn't win the headshot session. All I got was a meeting with a casting director. I'm like, well, that's
like,
who gives a shit about the headshots?
Exactly.
Right. So we had a lot of people like that. So the learning curve changed. And then we did it in New York, then we did it in LA. Then they wanted to do a reality show. And now we're doing it on Zoom. And
let's just go back for a second. Let's talk about a lot of the judges who actually sat on the panel. Can you name a few?
Sure. We had the director of the movie, Glenn Ross. We've had Noah Emmerich, who was Jim Carrey's best friend on The Truman Show. Mm-hmm. We've had Liz Lewis casting down there. We've had Jeffrey Dreisbach from McCorkle casting. So, like, when I name drop, a lot of actors are like, I never heard of this casting director. And I'm like, yeah, because they don't do classes. They're cast,
Exactly.
they're casting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that means there's a
This
different
way, Mike.
validation there. So um, there's a whole list if you go to the site of who's done it and what they're looking for. Right now, we have the man production manager for Paradise Squared, which is going to be a new Broadway musical that's coming out, which is about the early 1800s down in Wall Street, where black people and white people who are immigrants just came into the country and sort of got together and were working together. And it's called Paradise Squared, and it's a musical. And so we have the general manager of that show on the panel and also producing it, who's also looking to see new talent for that because Broadway's coming back. So we're excited
Yeah.
about that. He's also produced our show. He's produced, he's helped general manage the Mike Tyson one-man show, the Marijuana Logs. So it's like, it's a lot of like industry people that like what we do because we don't, in a weird way, I guess in a weird, we don't promote them like, hey, it's just like this
Yeah.
guy's here. So it's like you're in a room with a lot of people that you're just like, oh, this is cool. So,
Well,
um,
I know for me, the fourth time that I actually performed in the Monologue Slam, and the night that I won, um, me being who I am as an actor, and my thing was like competitive because I wanted to actually win because I was still pissed that David Roberts won over me. So
D-Rob!
I was trying my best to make sure
D-Black!
that I actually won. But because I was so consumed with trying to knock it out the ballpark, I didn't realize that Michael Rito was in the
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
panel that night. I didn't
Yeah.
know. It wasn't until someone came to me afterwards and said, "Hey, listen, Michael Rito from the New York Post and Theater Talk gave you this quote," and they gave it to me, and I still use it, and I put it on
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. We also had Neil Genslinger from the New York Times.
Yeah,
Like we've had so many people, and the funny thing is the people that come, they come in and they get like, oh, these guys are going to manipulate me and monopolize me that I'm here, and I walk by them. I say, hey, you having a good time? Yeah, great. And then they're like, why aren't you kissing my butt? And I'm like, because you're here to watch a show. Like, enjoy yourself. It's not, that's why you're here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, just have a good time, and whatever happens, happens. Like I can't control anything. I only can control the glitter and the sparkly jet. That's it. That's really the only things I can control.
And the soundtrack.
And the soundtrack and the
That's
bad
right.
jokes. Yes, the really bad jokes are prevalent. The hosting abilities, I'd say I give myself an A. Um, but no, it's a very I think everybody like that the hardest part of marketing it is that no one can really describe it unless they've been there. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean? Like there's been groups that have been like, you should have a focus group and they can tell you. And I'm like, you just got to come. You just got to come. That's what it is. Sometimes the music hits
But
it perfectly.
I got to say this, that it has changed since I did it.
Yeah,
It because of technology, because of where technology is and where we're going. It's like now, and I hate to sound like an old man, but now it seems like the people who go to the slam, man, they like, no, like they weak, man. They're not as tough
right.
as we
I
had
hear
to
you.
be. Like they didn't have to put in the work like we did. You know what I mean?
But
Because
here's the thing.
everything is so quick. But then I believe like the attention span now is so short that they
Here's the
don't.
thing. Here's the thing. In the kids are savvier, right? So I come up with the idea that you can vote for the winner on your phone, right? I said, oh,
Yeah,
that's great. The audience can have a say. Maybe 70% of that vote counts versus the panel or whatever. So there was like, oh, that makes sense. So I get an app and you you give me your email, you get the app, you can vote for the actor in the featured set. So all of a sudden, there's about 100, 150 people in this space, and this one kid has got 3,000 votes, and I'm like, how's it possible? Because there's only 150 people on here. Oh,
Followers.
you didn't say we couldn't share it. I mean, what do you mean share it? Oh, I just shared it with my friend. I said, but none of them watched you perform or anything. No, they're just voting for me to win. And I was like, I'm trying to keep it fair and even. And, everybody's got a workaround, So now it's strictly based on the panel's decision. And if there's a tiebreaker,
Back
then
to the panels again.
Yeah. And if there's a tiebreaker, then it goes to me and my brother. Or a briefcase of unmarked $20 bills. It just depends on what it is. But if you think the attention span, and this is just from friends of mine, not that I know anything, but if you think the attention span has gone down, this is what my friends say in the porn industry. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3 minutes of porn you watch. They don't even give you a full 20-minute porn video. Not that I would know, that I would even look at it, but I'm just saying that is happening, that everybody's attention span is very, very short.
Yeah. Nobody. That's why TikTok is so, doing so well.
Yeah.
It's because
but also, one of the things for the people that are out there, one of the things that is a really good practice, it's super hard to do, but it's like when you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone. Just wake up.
Yeah.
Because it's scary. If you wake up and just look at your phone, there's so much stuff that gets you sideways that you forget why the hell you woke up in the morning.
Yeah.
There's so much
and not to mention that there's so many things that will prevent you from, if you had woke up with an agenda, that you'll go left for the agenda because the phone has totally distracted you.
Yep. And so we still do the 30-second slam, and there's the featured set, and there's a lot of people when we started, they were like, I only get 30 seconds, and I was like, bro, there's a lot to do in 30 seconds. I mean, just ask the ladies that know me. It's like, it's incredible. But 30 seconds is really your audition, especially the old days when you walked in the casting director's door. That first 30 seconds before you even did the audition. Hey, how are you? Oh, great. Oh, good. All right. So where do you want me to look? What do you? And then they're like, oh, this guy's on point. Or if your 30 seconds was talking bullshit to them, that's the worst thing you could ever do to a casting director. Talk to them about how's your dog? How's your baby? It's like, are you here to work or kiss my ass? Because if you want to kiss my ass, then you're not here to work.
Yeah. Some people don't know how to just build relationships. I mean, it's like for casting directors, you're going in there to win fans, and you want them to be fans of what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Have you read
everything else is secondary?
Have you read the Jenna Fisher book?
No.
So the Jenna Fisher book, she's from The Office. She was Pam on The Office. She wrote this book on acting. Really good. Just Google Jenna Fisher acting. Once you read this one section, your head just totally relaxes. Was go on every audition, regardless of if you're miscast, because your agent just is sending you on stuff. Because you're meeting all these casting directors. It's not about booking that job. It's about those casting directors seeing you to know how to book you for the right job.
Yeah.
But if they see you, and she was like talking about like she's a brunette and she was going for blonde bombshell roles. And she's like, and the agent's like, shut up, just go. I know you're not right for it, but just go, because they get to see you. And then when something comes through that you're perfect for, they'll be like, yes.
Yeah.
And so one of the hardest things for actors, because it's like, there's 100 no's before there's a yes. And You don't know why
And
there's
keep in mind,
no's, and
and
she
keep in
kind of breaks.
mind, what people don't realize is that there's such a high turnover rate in that area, right?
Yeah.
Casting could be working. Somebody could be working today that's not working tomorrow. People
Yeah.
retire. People move around. They're not working on that particular project that you thought you would be great for. They move someplace else. So,
But they just want it. They want to know you're out there. So like,
yeah,
there's a lot of like pushback with agents. Like, why did you send me to this? And they're like, in the long term, right? Like, think of it as it's not tomorrow. It's long that things are going to turn because they're going to know who you are. But if they never see you, they don't know you.
yeah, yeah,
You know, and that's
yeah.
the scary part for the actor is like, if they don't see you, they don't know you. And then if they see you and you're always late, then they know you for something that's not good. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah,
yo, you want this, then you gotta, you gotta be there. You know, when you're early, you're on time. You're on time, you're late.
absolutely. I mean, the biggest piece of advice that anyone ever gave me in the industry was to pace myself. You know, it's part of who you are and what you do, but don't try to always rush to the finish line because the finish line doesn't exist.
No, no, no,
There is no finish line.
no. I mean, that's why the show keeps going on. That's why
Yeah.
anybody watching, well, I'll let them perform a 30-second monologue for free. All they got to do is go to nationalslam.com, and when they fill out the form, just type in freebie where it said who referred you, and you'll be able to perform for free next Tuesday at 4 p.m., May 25th. And then we're also having a free seminar on May 23rd. So if anybody wants to learn more about the show and everything, just email me at
And not only that, but I'm going to put it up as well.
Yeah, put it up. So they can just email me, psgalinsky@gmail.com. And so it's an opportunity to perform. It's an opportunity to see how it works without costing you anything. You know, in the old days, Phil, we had people like, yo, you're doing a free thing? Well, then can you buy me a Metro card? So what? I'm like, how free can it be? You're sitting on your ass in your underwear and Zoom. Like, come on now.
Let me ask you a question. What are some of the most standout performances of the slam that you can remember where you said it was really just stand out?
I cried, and it's on YouTube. I cried when I saw Alicia Joy Powell do her monologue about this was a character, her son who died in as a soldier, and I literally cried, and I was hosting, and I didn't want to get back on stage because I didn't want the audience to know that it made that much of an impact on me. Because no, you know me, I'm goofing around and fucking having fun, and it hit me hard, and that was a great one. And then the other one that was really good, um, because back in the day, we would, if you wanted to rehearse with us, we'd rehearse with you. Like we'd say, this is kind of how we think it works, you know, like how it works for our show. Because it's just in live theater, it's a lot different than other types of auditions. So this girl was doing a monologue about her divorce, and I was like, "Who are you talking to?" And she was like, "My best friend." And I was like, "No one gives a shit. That's an office audition at some agent's office where it's really like this,
Right,
you know."
right.
I
Yeah.
said, "I want Salvation Armani. I want you to buy an awful bridesmaid dress, and I want you to jump on stage and do the monologue about your divorce to your sister who's getting married, and you're in the back of the church and you're talking to her just before she's getting married." She's like, "Why would I do that? That's so awkward." I'm like,
I think I remember that.
"You remember her?" Yeah.
Yeah.
So her monologue, she's talking to her sister, and she's like, "Marriage is a big thing, and Doug and I got married, and he had a sweater drawer, and I was cleaning it out and I found this box and it had these weird Barbie heads in it. And they were all like deformed. And I thought that was kind of weird. So when he got home, he saw the box and he started crying and told me that he read on the internet that men get a sexual satisfaction about swallowing Barbie heads and then passing them. That she pulls out of the bouquet a Barbie head. And she goes, "This one's Vivian. I got her from the divorce." And the whole place just... And I was thinking, she called me when she was rehearsing. She's like, "It's so much better now.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to see it." And I was like, all right. And when I saw the dark comedy is what really works for what we do.
Right.
Dramas also work, but like a dark comedy.
You have to have them by the balls, as I like to say. You got to have them by the balls. And that just means that, you know, you can hear a pin drop in the audience.
Right. And the other thing is like, you don't, and this is probably a general rule, you don't want to do something too famous, because if it's too famous, people think of the actor and they don't think of you. Yeah. Right. So if you're going to do Joe Pesci, right? Funny how I'm like, fucking clown, I fucking amuse you. The person's in the panel is going, "Oh shit, I haven't seen Goodfellas in a while. Yeah, I should." And then you're like, fuck. Right. You know what I mean? It's like every dude comes on stage and goes, "King Kong got nothing on me." But you know, people do that because they try to be the actor themselves. But like you said, people know the story, so it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Like you're never going to nail it. Right, and it's not even anything negative to that actor. It's like, you have a good, if you have a good instrument, don't do a remake or a remix. Exactly. Your own thing. Exactly. Come up with something original. And I gotta admit, you know, I've had the opportunity to work with you as, you know, preparing for the slam, and you're good at what you do. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we did the breakup monologue. Yeah, the breakup monologue. Yeah. That's what made me a winner. Oh, good. Where's my percentage? What the fuck? No, man. Man. We didn't sign that. That wasn't in the contract. Damn it. So let me ask you a question. What about you? What have you been up to, career-wise, as an actor? So I have a couple of good stories. Oh, I don't know if I told you this. I have a really good Law and Order story. Can I tell it? Yeah, go. Yeah, okay. So as you and I know, every LA actor is like, "Well, you didn't do shit. You haven't gotten on Law and Order." The only fucking show. And I'm like, oh my God. So I wrote a one-man show about me, 20 years in New York, the longest running actor to never book a Law and Order. Right? That was the premise of the show. So I finished writing the show, excuse me, and I get a call from my agent. "Oh, you got an audition for Law and Order." And I'm like, oh God. And this is a year ago, or before the COVID. I had a man bun. I had a man bun. And I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. Right. So for the people that are watching, at a certain point in an actor's career, there's times when they walk into a casting office with like, I don't give a fuck attitude. Yeah. Like, I'm over it. I'm just like, fuck this. There's 6 dudes that just look like me. Right. I'll be here for an hour and a half to say 2 fucking lines. And I just was like over it. Right. So I walk in, I do my couple of lines. I'm an auto mechanic. I do my lines. And I leave a day, you know, obviously, like, so this is one of the secret sauces. Like, if they call you right away, you got a good shot that you might have booked it. If they don't call you right away, forget it. And they don't call you 2 days later and tell you you suck. They just don't call you. Absolutely. That's just it. So call me 2 days later, like, hey, the director wants to see you again. And I'm like, I'm writing this all down for the one-man show. Like, oh, this is how they're going to fucking torture me again. So I go back it's me, and then everybody else in the waiting room. This is Chelsea Pierce. Everybody else in the waiting room is a redheaded lady in a business suit, and they're all lawyers. So it's me who's doing my auto mechanic audition, and then a bunch of girls competing to be the lawyer for the job.
Right.
So it took forever, and it was because the director was an older gentleman who had a bladder issue, so he had to go to the bathroom like every 3 people. So even if it was flowing, it didn't matter because I had to wait for him to come back, right? So he comes back. I do my callback. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I finished writing the one-man show saying, you know what, this was perfect. This fucking thing, this audition is perfect to end the show. And then my agent calls me and says, you booked it. And I said, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. He said, yeah, you booked it. And I said, I got to rewrite this entire ending of what I was writing because I never booked it in 20 years. So here's the final chapter of the one-man show of Law and Order. This excerpt is called "I'm Not a Dick, but Dick Things Happen to Me." Okay, so just so you know, I'm not a dick, but dick things happen to me. All right. So they call me. You're gonna go 96th Street, and there'll be vans near the West Side Highway. You're gonna get into a van because they're gonna drive you up to Yonkers because that's where the auto mechanic shop is for your scene.
Right.
Cool, no problem. Black van. I get there early because I'm not a dick, right?
Right.
I get into the back of the van because I'm not a dick. You know how people sit in the front and you got to walk around them, right? So the van fills up. The driver looks in the rear view. He's like, oh, this is the van for extras only. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm in the wrong van. So I shoot up my hand. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the wrong van. I'm not an extra. I actually got a part. They're like, dick, what a dick. And I'm crawling over people. Get over the van. Get out of the van. They're like, you're such a dick, right? So I get in the other van, which is black as well, right? They're the same.
Right.
And the actors, when I walk in, they're like, when I walk into that van, they're like, oh, what a dick. You got into the wrong van. You thought you were an extra. I'm like, I'm not a dick. So I get into the van. We drive up to, hold on a second. I got to let some.
What happened? Yeah, I'm still here.
The phone is connected to the buzzer. Hold on, I got to open my door real quick. So wait, I just got to. Where did I leave off? Where did I leave off?
They were calling you a dick in the other van.
In the other actors. Okay, hold on.
Yes. This is Phil Galinsky, everybody. I knew this was going to happen tonight, so it's all good.
All right, so sorry. This is show business. This is what happened.
Phil, you there?
All right, I'm back.
All right,
okay.
Go.
So we get to Yonkers, and I get out of the van, and the extras are, kind of smelling blood. They're like, this guy's a fucking dick. And I'm like, I swear to you, I got in the wrong van. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And the guy, the direct, DP comes out and says, we're looking for Philip Galinsky. And I'm like, hey, I'm right here. And they're like, oh, sir, come with us. We have to send you to your trailer. So I had to walk through the extras to get to my trailer. And they're like, this fucking dick's got a trailer. So I get in the trailer. That's where my costume was. That's it. Like, it wasn't.
Right.
I didn't know. Right. So I get in my costume. I look at my lines and everything like that. I come out. I do the scene with the two young, the blonde guy and the blonde girl.
The detectives.
Yeah, the two young ones. they're kind of weird. They were doing a rehearsal, and the blonde lady is chewing gum, and she takes it out of her mouth and gives it to him. She's like, "Taste this." This is during rehearsal. I was like, "This is I don't know. It's kind of weird." So anyway, I didn't taste the gum. So we do the scene. We do it like 3 or 4 times. Bing, bang, boom. And we finish like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So all the extras are super like excited because we're going to leave early. And just people that come into this apartment. Anyway, so that we're going to leave early. And then they're like, "Yeah, Philip, you did a great job. The scene's done. It's going to be a wrap. The extras are just going to need to stay for some continuity shots." So then you hear in the background, "Fucking dick." And so the guy who's driving the van comes up to me in the middle of me being in like the Lord of the Flies of the freaking extras. And he's like, "Hey, it's just going to be you and me coming back. It should be easy traffic." I said, where do you drop people off? He says, "Chelsea Piers." I said, "I live like 4 blocks from there.
No,
Can you just..."
You didn't.
Yes, I did. I said, "Can you drop me off at my house?" He said, "Sure, no problem." And all the extras are like, "You're a dick. You're a door-to-door dick." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And they're throwing shit at me, bread, bananas. I'm trying to get into the van.
It all started from that morning, man. All started.
I should have not asked for that. I shouldn't have asked for... I live on 11th Street. It's on 23rd Street. It's not that far.
I have my 5 Oprah questions I have to ask you. I do it to every guest on the show that I have. So I want you to be open to answer it, okay?
These are 5 Oprah questions?
Yeah, I call them my Oprah Super Soul Sunday questions.
All right, let's do it.
So, it's really quick. Okay, what was your perception of the industry before you got into it compared to what you feel about the industry now that you've been in it for so long?
Before I got into it, I thought it was an easy place, or I thought you made a lot of money. I thought like if you booked 1 or 2 things, that would float you for a year. So if you booked like 5 things, and you'd be able to float for 3 years. Like the money is not the money. Like the money you think it is not the money.
Yeah.
That was my misconception. And then my other misconception was trying to understand what I wanted to audition for, what my brand was, because when I started, I was like a really wacky, goofy guy, and I didn't want to keep doing that. So that's when I started doing voiceovers, because what I wanted the commercial side of me to fund my artistic side. So that took me a long time to kind of understand how to do that. And there's only so many commercials you can do on camera before people are tired of seeing your face.
Yeah.
And Geico Lizard, or So I always tried to. I always thought any kind of job was like $7 million. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like
right.
At the end of the day, it's $7. Like,
After taxes, after the percentage you pay your agent, all of that. After SAG dues come out of it. Forget about it. Second question: what advice would you give your 19-year-old self?
Spend money wisely. I just pissed money away. I don't need a Red Bull every day. I don't need.
Yeah. Phil, I think I'm losing you, man. Are you still there?